All right, test, test, test. All right, looks like we're good. Hello, we are back. Yes, Tuesday. I told you I might do a short stream today. Today we're going to just go over a couple of things to end the year with. So all we're going to cover pretty much is just things that I'm going to get as far as questions are concerned. I'm going to get lots of the same questions, and those questions apply to just about everybody the same way. So that's kind of what I'm going to quickly go over. So I'm not going to basically cover any one class any different than another class. So if you're in U.S. history, world civ, sociology, the same rules pretty much apply to all of you the same way. All right, looks like we're good. So one of the things, one of the questions is, how, that I basically rolled in answers to. If you look into the chat, we should basically have the chat. The chat should basically have a couple of different things in there. One is how to increase your grade, retaking tests, that kind of thing, and any extra credit. Those are the same questions I get over and over and over again. And the answer is pretty much the same for everybody. As far as grade is concerned, I am going to follow, and I am continuing to follow my disclosure. So the disclosure from the beginning of the year is the same disclosure now that we are completing the year. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about it at the very end. I'm going to talk about how we need to approach the summer. Because how we approach the summer is going to determine how we go into next year, because next year quite possibly could be a repeat of what we're doing right now, especially at the very beginning. So I think everybody needs to prepare for that. And if you are new, if you have not been to one of these streams, and you have not had the chance to use this to its fullest potential, which it really hasn't. As soon as the year is over, year ended, we pretty much, a lot of people kind of went in their own way. There's a few people that are frequenting the stream. They're checking it out, looking for little tidbits of information, because quite honestly, I've been very, very good at giving out very important pertinent information to help you with assignments, especially based on questions that I received during the course of the week. So I try to predict questions, and I try to answer those questions that I get through emails. And most of them are the same. Some of them are really good questions, and I've been answering those. And what's nice about this platform is I can answer. Let me go ahead and get this off, because I just want to make sure this is a generic thing. Here we go. I should put up. All right, but so anyways, the many questions were really good, and what happens is when I have a chance to get in here, I can also demonstrate how to basically get through whatever problem that you're having, and that's really what the connection here should be. The other thing that really hasn't been utilized, I think successfully, is the fact that I have not been getting active participation. These streams are basically faces with messages, and one of the things that you can easily do is to comment and or leave chat remarks, so we can basically answer live or discuss live any specific questions, and give any specific answers and demonstrations that are needed to answer that question. So all those things can be done. And if we go into next year in this platform, all the gloves are off. I said that we will be using a traditional grading system. I am going to change this disclosure. So this course disclosure here is going to be modified. I am going to write that modification up as the summer basically progresses to basically meet the needs of what we're going to be challenged with come fall. So this is not going to be the disclosure. I am changing my grading policy, and we are going to go with an online credit-based, basically grading progression. So how does that affect anybody really? I don't know. It just basically means that you get what you basically, it's going to be based on, production. So if you produce something, you get credit for something, and that's pretty much where we're going. It makes it much easier to as a parent and as a student to know that if you have something that's 10 points or 5 points, you get 10 points or 5 points, and if you don't do it to the standard or to the level of how it was, just how the answer was, or how the product was basically asked to be returned, you're going to have to redo things, and that's okay. Excuse me, I got a stuffy nose. So, there's nothing wrong with redoing things, and that's kind of what has to happen. The difference between online school and doing things in classes, I can repeat things in class, but if I can't count on communication through electronic means, the only way for me to get you to show me that you understand is for you to do it correctly and then resubmit it. And that's, for a lot of people are struggling with that. They're like, what? I'm used to basically getting, turning things in and that basically was the final product. And with electronic school, it's not that way. It's back and forth. And and that's why it's important that when you use something like Canvas, that Canvas allows for us to do that. So if I get an assignment from somebody, and I wished I could use an example in here, but I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But if I give an example, for example, when you turn something into me, I can comment over it, I can annotate over it, I can draw. There's all kinds of things I can do as feedback. And once that feedback occurs, the question is, what do you do now? Well, there's a score that's usually attached to what you did, right? And then now that feedback is going to be given, and then that's going to be given to you. And just like in traditional classrooms all around the country, you can that feedback can result in basically a generic response, meaning that you can respond back just verbally, and then I say, that's good, and I can make that change at that right there, then and there, in a classroom setting, or from a discussion that I have. But if we can't have that discussion, it has to be done through electronic means. So yeah, it does mean that you're going to have more responsibility, but you'll probably have less work. So we'll concentrate on small things, big picture, and making sure we're completing a task to a certain level. And then it's going to be my job to do a better job explaining what exactly I want you to return to me. And I think that's something that I can definitely improve on. So when we do get assignments in this new world, if we so keep in the world that we're in, I'm going to have to do a better job, and a really good job, at laying out the steps that I want you to take. And it's your job to read through those steps and to basically reciprocate with work that equals the steps that I give you. So it's going to be the communications thing is definitely going to be new for many of us. I think we're not. Ooh, there we go. Oh, excuse me. But many of us aren't used to that. So we're not used to the feedback, and we're not used to returning things. We're used to doing large volumes of work, especially in my class. I give out volumes. One of the things that'd be nice to get is more demonstrations. So I definitely would like to send you out on more little projects, and those projects don't always have to be pencil paper projects. They can be audio visual products, meaning you can go out and experience something and bring back information about that. So one of the things I'm going to do next year for sure is I have in my possession, I've been asking for and getting grants for certain things, is some virtual reality, some virtual tours. So I'm going to be basically posting things, especially next year for sure. And what I want you to do is I want you to experience it. Now, what's cool about electronics and about camera technology today is I can create a three-dimensional picture of several places, and all you have to do is go through and observe them. So instead of just looking at something from just a two-dimensional perspective, you can now experience it in a three-dimensional perspective. You can look around, you can look what's above me, what's below me, what's the surface like, what's the wall like, so we have a lot more. We can basically affect the senses a lot more, in a lot more ways. So that's one of my things that I'm trying to add, to this the sensation that we get, because we can't really get it. I can't describe it well, and not everybody's willing to sit through a 30-minute discussion or lecture by me about what that is. So it requires you to go and to experience something, and then somehow tell me what that experience was like. So we're gonna be messing with that a little bit for sure, come the next year. All right. So grades. The minimum standard of grade has been established, and now all you have to do is go up from there. If you are working on the pass-fail, most everybody has reached the pass-fail level already. I'm not messing around much with the low end of the grade scale. I'm going to concentrate my efforts on the top end of the grade scale, because those are kids that are actively participating in my class, and those are the kids that you're going to get the most feedback from. Right now, depending on the assignment, depending on what specific things I was looking for, if you're a sociology kid, I'm looking for more a personal reflection on something. When it comes to U.S. and world history, I'm looking for, did they grasp the concept or did they not? So in the case of World War, in the case of U.S. history, we were looking at the Vietnam War, and we looked at civil rights. So what I was looking for is, did you understand the depth of the 14th and the 15th Amendment, and then how did it affect the South? Give me some facts at how the South reacted to those amendments. And most of the time, those were really good answers. Like I said, the only thing that I have problems with is depth. Some of you do not understand how to express yourself in depth, and we're going to work on that. Meaning that how do you tell me you understand that? And the biggest way many people do that is through description, through descriptive language. People were angered. People were they reacted in this way. This was their action that they took because of that. So it kind of cause and effect. Or what was it like? Express the sentiment that people felt. What were Southerners? How did they react when they heard that they were supposed to allow people that they didn't believe were equals to them the same rights, and that they exploded in the South? They're like, oh, we're not doing that. They were not willing to make that decision in the way that the North wanted them to. It was kind of like, here it is. We're immersing you in it. We're going to throw you in the pond. It's time for you to swim in the pond. And most people were like, well, crap, everybody has different levels of swimming ability. So you got that. So when people answered that question, they either gave me great depth, or they gave me very limited depth, which didn't allow me to really assess whether you understood it or not. So that's where the grade separation occurred there. And I was very kind and generous with grading this quarter. But when it comes to next semester, when it comes to the first of next year, when we become 2021 students, we understand the world that we're living in has changed. And we need to now change with that world. And I am going to make sure that we make that step forward. We're not going to we're going to be asked to do things that at sometimes we're not comfortable doing. It's maybe we're not well prepared to do, and we're going to slowly work to that preparation. I think we'll all become better students for sure. Oh, okay, excuse me. As far as World Civ, most of the World Civ was experiencing different ideas, looking at different cultures, and then of course reflecting on the traditions and the and making comparisons of from those older cultures to how we reflect, how we look at those places today. For example, China today is a society still kind of on the brink of where it's going to be. We don't know where China is because in the last 70, 80 years, China has been going through a political turmoil, I guess you want to look at it that way, or a political. They have basically a politically sensitive environment that they live in. I guess they always have, depending on what ruler was in charge. So we were looking at we kind of looked at it through the lens of the Golden Age for the Tang, the Song and the Tang dynasties, and we looked at innovation. And and one of my big connections was, are the Chinese innovating today like they innovated in the past? That's one of the themes there. All right, okay, enough of that. I wanted to make this stream. This is a short stream based upon questions and answers that we needed. Let's see, Adrian. I just noticed that you says, all right, so I got this question, where do I go to the Vietnam breakout game? And I'm going to just post the link because the link is, let me just pop that on there. I'm just in my website. I'm just going to go down to Vietnam civil rights right there. And I'm going to post the link on the chat. So Adrian, you just click on the link. The link will work. I have a lot of kids having problems with links, but the links work, guys. They do. This is a public link, so here's the Vietnam breakout link. There's two of them. This is the game link, the first one, right here. I'm going to publish not only this game link right here, because the game link reflects on this picture. So Adrian, in the last live stream and this live stream before that, I focused on this specific assignment. So if you were not able to be here those two times, I focused on this specific assignment. Now, if you can see that as I roll over the heads of these or different parts of the picture, the finger basically appears, and that means that there's a link in there. There is a hidden link. So there's one here. There's one on the helicopter blade. There's one on the door. There's one on this helicopter. There's one on the far helicopter, and there's one on the head of this soldier here running. Any and all of those are different answers to these breakout questions. Okay. I also, in my last live stream, Adrian, I gave you several answers to the questions. So I suggest you go back to the last live stream. There we go. There's one of the clues. Now, this is not the end of the clue link. The clue basically can go in depth into the photograph itself. So this is basically Kent State protest. This is a student that was shot by a National Guardsman when they were protesting the Vietnam War draft. And this girl here, if you see, has another extension to the link. This was a very hard question, by the way. So I suggest you go to the last link. I suggest you go to the last live stream, and it does cover this. So anyway, let me go ahead and post that link there. I'm going to go ahead and shut that off. I don't want these on. And I'm not going to go over this assignment since I'd already gone over it several times. But I am going to basically post the link. So here it is right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to copy that, stick that in the chat. So this is one of the links right there. That's the Google site that it comes from. And then I'm also going to post the assignment that that covers this. Okay, so now there are two games. And I did send out a message. If you go back to Twitter, um, there are two. Sorry, there are two links. It says right here, and this was the tweet that I put out, and it says this assignment will be counted towards your final grade. That one right there. This assignment will not be counted towards your final grade down there. All right. So I would suggest that you structure your time on this link. So I'm going to click on that. This is the this is the Vietnam breakout game and the assignment right there. This is the assignment that you need to follow. I want you to do that one at a minimum. There's the link again to the game. And I am going to post this right here. Once again, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to post this right there. All right. So, Adrian, if you basically take advantage of that link right there, there's the assignment and there is the Vietnam breakout. But if you go to the last live stream, let me see if I can find that for you. If remember, Twitter is a really powerful thing for me. It really saves you a lot of time. So here's Twitter right here. Here's some Twitter stuff that I put out. There's the tweet right there. That's the live stream that covered a lot of this on May 5th. Now, the problem with that last live stream was it got broken in half for some reason. I don't know if I started and stopped the live stream, or sometimes YouTube does it. So go into the YouTube archives, and it will bring you there. So I'm going to click on that, and you'll notice, and I'll show you here in just a second. Now that's the replay from. Now that is the U.S. history section right there. Here, let me just put a pause on that. But if you go to, let me just look at I'm going to go to, I'm just going to go to my YouTube site and show you the different video. There's the video that's going on right now. Where it says week 7, the very end of this one and this one, I think it's all in this video right here. So here, let me post that one too. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on that one. And I'm going to give you this link as well. So, and you need to watch this one. Just kind of peruse through it. I just want to make sure that it's covering the right material. Yeah, that's the Vietnam War draft lottery. I looked at all that stuff on the draft lottery, so I talked about that, and then I did talk about the breakout game. I do believe. I'm going to go ahead and hit that. So I'm going to copy that video URL and I'm going to put it in there as well. And that's also in there. So that's the video URL that will help you. And then here, I'm just going to put in I'll put in the week before. Here, let me just stop that really quick. I just need to go back to the list. Guys, I got to get new computers. This is such a slow computer. You think you guys fight with technology. A computer I know that will run this stream really good is about $300. And these are leftover computers from my kids. Okay, right here, week 5. I think it's week. Oh, this is okay. This is the one that what happened is I got into my World Civ class and they shut my stream down because I put something copywritten on there. So they do that. Now, I'm going to give you another link too, Adrian. Let me go here. I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to go to, here, I got to shut some of this stuff out here. Let's turn that stuff off. I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and I made a video in that I save all the video files for lots of different reasons. It's good just so people know what you're doing and how you're doing it. I just save the video. Now here's a link. Here's the video that got cut off. And I do have the video for that. So here's the link for that. You can go there. Here's my Canvas lessons. I might save all of my There it is right here. It's this video right there. So this was this was the 428 video. So I'm gonna get that link there, and I'm gonna share. This is the video from 420. This is the week that I actually assigned that to you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this is so that right there is the link to the video from 428. So here, I didn't put the date on there. 42820 video link. Help with the Vietnam breakout. All right, let me spell that right. But both, I did a lot of explaining in both those. So I'm going to go ahead and put that. There we go. Okay, so it's the same link. So, all right. So that's it from that. I'm not going to mess around with that stuff anymore. I've over explained myself, and I think the biggest problem was the accidental putting up of an assignment from last year. I'm going to give you one thing that happened. I'm going to tell you one thing that happened. I'm going to go into my assignments from U.S. history. I'll tell you what exactly happened. So here are all the assignments that I have for U.S. history, and in last year I did a Vietnam breakout game right there. So if you look at that, it says in assignments. Now these assignments are not connected with PowerSchool, so none of this stuff is going to go into the gradebook. So if I click on this assignment, you'll notice that it looks like this. This was my breakout game from last year. I had a lot of people answering questions from that. And I didn't know it was up. So this right here is not going to be graded. I'm not grading that one. That was a lot of people didn't even understand. They didn't read through the question because the question was play the game and then write about the meaning of the wall. And I had very few kids that actually could do that. They missed part of the question, and it was frustrating that, and a couple of different reasons. One was that when kids did the assignment, they didn't understand it, and two, that the assignment shouldn't have been posted anyway. So let me just go back. But the breakout game assignment I did post, because I redid it this year, was this one down here. I'm going to go down where it says classwork. Here it says Vietnam War breakout game. Now this one does count. And if you notice it has the screenshot of, because I wanted kids to recognize that right away. Hey, you have to do this. So, and a lot of kids were trying to use the screenshot or saying, hey, the link doesn't work. Well, that's not the link. This is just a screenshot. The actual link is right down here. There's the game link. And some kids were trying to, make this work, and it doesn't. It's just a picture. Anyways, a lot of confusion, and I'll take responsibility for some of that. Anyways, but this is the graded assignment right here. This is what you will get a grade on. Okay. All right, and I've got a couple. Looks like I have 2 more to grade that are up right now. So Adrian, that's the assignment that you will be graded on. Do your best to go through this assignment. Get all the answers you can get. I suggest you go to the video. The video will help you with a bunch of answers, especially the second video, the one I did last week. So go there. That will be very helpful. All right. Okay, so there's that. All right. Okay, barring assignments, okay, finishing the year. Number 1, get all the possible points you can. And if you didn't get full points on an assignment, go redo that assignment. That's how you do it. There's going to be no extra credit given. So go and resubmit it. If you have a question as to why you had such a low score on an assignment, there should be a comment next to it. If there isn't, message me. Say, hey, why did I score half credit? Usually if you got a half credit, you didn't do it. You didn't submit anything. Usually I gave a reflective credit on it. So if something's worth 50 points, I gave you 40 because you missed some of the point to the assignment. But ask me that question as it arises. So if you do have an assignment there, you got, and you missed a few points, you need to do that. Quizzes, you have to retake the quiz. If you need a quiz reopened, or if you need another attempt at a quiz, then message me and I will open that up for a third or fourth or fifth attempt. That's pretty much it. Oh man, I am so sorry, man. I've got the runny nose for whatever reason. All right, maybe I need to stay away from people, huh? So guys, that is pretty much what you need to think about. So as far as your grading is concerned, remember Power School is the final grade. Okay, your grade on Power School is the grade that I am counting, and I am assessing from. So whatever Power School says is your grade. Whatever Canvas says is not necessarily your grade. So do not rely on Canvas alone. Only things that have transferred over to Power School are your final grade. Okay, so Power School only. Okay, your final grade is reflected in Power School. I'm going to type that in. Um, is in Power School only. All right, I'll put that up there. All right, we'll put a little emoji there so everybody recognizes that. Okay, we'll put the little let's put that puppy in there. There we go. There we go. So that's kind of a check this out. Your final grade. So that'll be kind of a little bit of a reminder. All right, guys. I'm pretty much to the end of what I wanted to cover today. There really is nothing at this point that I really need to add to what you already should know at this point. And that is pretty much that. I am I am I am I am keeping to the words of this disclosure. I am keeping to my no zero grading policy from the way the year started. I did not change the rules of the game. So, but the district did mandate or suggest, and anytime the district suggests, that's usually something that um, that we should be basically taking taking as an important suggestion. I guess we're going to leave it at that way. So whatever the district has suggested and whatever I have basically done as a grading policy are going to work together. So remember, Power School only. Power School is the grade. All right. So that being said, and needing to keep to my short stream, remember, email me any questions that you have or message through Canvas. That's always the best way, is anything that's kept in permanent record that way. Refer to any past posts. Make sure that you're following the tweets. It says last week to turn in work, Friday the 15th. Okay, it says it right there. Bam. That's not changing. Friday is the deadline. I am not going to add anything. And you've now had 2 weeks basically to finish up anything. At this point, your grade is what it is until I grade those assignments, and I am grading them as we speak. I'll give you an example right now as far as grading is concerned, where I'm at. Let's see. It says I have 19 assignments to grade. Those will be graded probably within the next hour. So I am keeping up to those. And I will get those assignments assessed, and numbers basically will be tallied. Now, I probably will do maybe a midweek, maybe tomorrow. I will do a midweek submission, because I have to push those grades into Power School from from Canvas. I can do a manual update, and I might even do one today. So, meaning that those grades should move from Canvas to PowerSchool and reflect a current grade status. That should change for you. Let me know if anything is conflicting. If you have a grade in, and it's something that I've assessed within the last, I don't know, 24 hours. It's now 48 hours later and the grade hasn't changed. Let me know. That is just fine. I have no problem with that. All right. So guys, good luck. Get those things done. Stay up to date. Remember, PowerSchool grade's the official one. What Canvas says is not necessarily what accurately is your grade. So make sure PowerSchool is official. So, all right. So, guys, you guys can take care of this stuff. There's nothing, guys. There's no stress. Just get things completed, maximum points, and you'll be just fine. All right. Stay on top of things. Don't let things simmer into next week, into Monday and Tuesday, or start emailing me on Sunday night, where there's just no reason for that. There's no reason for frantic Sunday emails. So get everything done by Friday, and everything should be fine. All right. So, guys, I'm going to cut it off right here. Have a great week. Keep in communication. I have no problem, posting a stream on another question. Wouldn't be surprised if don't be surprised if I do a stream on Thursday or on Tuesday, or excuse me, on Wednesday, reflecting on some really important question or answering important question that is popping up on a regular basis. So, all right. So, Dad Random. But, all right. So have a great week, guys, and keep on top of things. Later, and bye.